Viewers and subscribers, a lot of times we have explored this topic of Alkaline being regarded as an estranged son of dancehall. We constantly revisit a topic like this because of the consistent point of view dancehall consumers and some co-workers share when it comes to Alkaline. Over the years, you have seen Alkaline co-workers plead for unity and make talks of how much better things can be if dancehall artists work together, but there obviously seems to be something else at play when it comes to that. Stick up in, let me show you all a pre. Viewers and subscribers, welcome to another video from LeeMillerRTV. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click notification bell so you can be the first to be notified of new contents. Don't forget to like, share, and also comment your thoughts below. With that being said, let's get to business. Now, if you are someone that has been following up the dancehall community for a while now, a few things should be obvious enough at this stage in the game. Some dancehall consumers might think that it's normal for what's happening in dancehall when it comes to Alkaline, but it's quite the opposite. Disclaimer: Vendetta fans aren't really fazed by what is actually happening, but we're also not ignorant of it. Walk with me. When we look back as to how this all started, we know that it's because Alkaline did a taboo thing in dancehall, and that was to break tradition. Over the years, it's always been other dancehall artists that put on new face in dancehall. More specifically speaking, means that if person A wanted to get the exposure or be made known to the public as a promising talent, the current dancehall artist sitting at the top of the game will introduce them and put them on or have people support them. In such a scenario, we can use Bounty Killer as an example. He was the go-to person for a lot of artists to get the big break in dancehall. From him came talents such as the icon Mavado and Vibes Cartel. Now, if you are following the pattern, you will remember that after Vibes Cartel became known as Vibes Cartel and had Jamaica looking in on him on a level, he started to become the new person to go to in that era. So, if you wanted the exposure as an upcoming artist, you find a way to link with Vibes Cartel / Gaza or get a collaboration, which means that's the fastest way to be accepted by the masses. To this day, it still serves as a practice. Once Vibes Cartel collaborates with an artist or give them a shout out, they go through a faster acceptance process. This is where we now get back to Alkaline now that we have a little history. This tradition should have been continued when Alkaline debuted in dancehall. As you know, people don't really like changes, especially when something isn't broken, so to speak. And here comes this artist out of nowhere, promoting himself, creating controversy for himself, and demanding the attention from every dancehall fans. Whether you said Gaza or Gully, you had to pay attention to who this artist was that came out of nowhere and causing so much chaos and ruckus in dancehall space. People then quickly pulled out the traditional book that was being kept for thousands of generations, and every time they caught Alkaline on a sit down, they would ask, who do you look up to? Why do you admire, or who do you admire as an artist? Why was this so important? To this day, I still don't see the big deal. But don't forget still, the answer is that tradition had to be upheld. So Alkaline goes on to say, I don't really look up to anyone more than the other. They are all great artists and he respects them just the same. People then started to ask more specifically, do you not idolize anyone more than the other? Alkaline says no, him just be himself and do whatever he wants. That right there was what created a glitch in the system. Dancehall got turned upside down because there was a bug in the system and it seems to be spreading more and more each day. Because at the same time, everyone was very curious as to say, who is this guy? Remember, never before have we seen another artist carving out their own route in dancehall. This is what Alkaline was doing. People knew only of Gaza and Gully of the new era. And before the previous era came to an end, here comes Alkaline saying, Vendetta. And to make things worse, Alkaline started to power with the opposing side to what many would call the dominant force in dancehall. So now it was Gaza versus Gully and Vendetta. Again, another bug in the system that caused a major glitch. This caused majority to automatically dislike Alkaline even though they didn't know him personally. When I say majority, I mean artists didn't want to. When I say majority, I mean artists didn't want to openly talk positively about Alkaline to save face. Producers picked a side. Selectors didn't want to play a song. Sprint legend would pay for his song not to play at parties. It was a hate on a 360-degree angle type of level. People over the years would try to downplay this and make it seem like not much of a big deal in dancehall, but again, Once you have been following up the music over the years, this would be way more obvious in 2024. To date, you have some producers who can never work with Alkaline and who Alkaline would never work with. You like to think that dancehall can unite on a level, but it becomes clearer each day that it's not something that will happen entirely. People automatically have to pick a side because no one wants to upset the balance. Maybe in 10 years' time it might be different, who knows? But in the present right now, yeah man, alone corruption. Which brings us to the next point. This is one of the reasons Alkaline is how he is. He doesn't link up with certain artists and producers and he keeps the circle very small. When we think back and remember how even the people who works with Alkaline, some have never met him in person before, some have reached out and it was a good while before Alkaline reached back out. We heard Sponge gave some insights on how Alkaline goes to work, and you can check that video out on my channel. Sponge explained that Alkaline not even use phone, just to elaborate on how self-paced the Lord move. He keeps himself at a distance because not only is the game rigged, it's also fully based on bias and envy. One can say it's the natural human nature of being feared by a greater force or by something that one doesn't understand, but that doesn't make it any better now, innit? Oftentimes we would blaspheme and say, oh, if Alkaline had ever come out and pick a specific side in dancehall, the story would have been way different. Enough artists wouldn't boast on the level that they did. There would not be a black goat, and the dancehall community at large would have long gave Alkaline his flowers from even 2016. That's how much things would have been different. But again, it is what it is, and Alkaline have beat the odds. He has done the impossible and made Vendetta into a wholesome brand. He has gone up against the best dancehall had to offer and came out stronger than ever before, leading the most loyal fan base there is to date. So no longer do we really need to refer to Alkaline as a black sheep. It's more accurate to say the black goat. It's not every generation in dancehall you will ever see an artist like Alkaline, and you probably won't for a good while. That's how unique the character Alkaline is. So, are we bothered by not being the most liked?
Oh, good over here, sir.
Are we bothered by being estranged?
Oh, good over here, sir.
Are we bothered by not being everyone's favorite?
Oh,
So there you have it. Viewers and subscribers who have made it this far into the video and liked anything I had to say, please hit the like, the subscribe button, hit notification bell so you can be the first to be notified of new contents. Don't forget to like, share, comment your thoughts below, and as always, the pleasure was mine. I'm out.